Mentions. I held my smile at the camera for a little bit.
Yeah.
There. You didn't see it, but. But no, I think as far as the whole defying conventions and shaking things up, mission accomplished by Blizzard, because she's a warrior unlike anything we've seen in the game thus far, and I think she will see play at the competitive level.
You do?
I do.
Right on.
I think she'll show up at the back end of a comp when, like, you take that cursory glance left and right before you cross the road and pick up Diva. You're like, all right, let me make sure, because the second game that I played Diva, the second game I ever played Diva, I first picked it because I was like, you know what? Every time I try to pick Diva, something shows up in the draft. I'm like, all right, I can't go Diva. I'm just doing it. And the response was like Varian. I forget who it was, but anytime I tried to attack Varian, like his damage just went through the roof because he was just parrying everything.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is tough. So
that's really difficult.
Yeah, you can't take Diva early, I feel, in a draft.
No, I don't think so either. No Genji. Genji can come out early. Speaking of Genji bans, I don't actually think we'll see the Genji ban on Infernal Shrines, both because, you know, he's not crazy on the shrine, and it's a pretty big map, but I just don't think we'll see it, because we saw it last game. We do see the Gul'dan banned off from Miasma, so 4 guys and a legend. I wonder if they will ban off the Dahaka again. Actually, a Nubarak, even though they've seen a lot of success with it. But I like that. You know, it's scary leaving that Nubarak open when your opponents have first pick, just because he actually is a viable first pick, especially with Gul'dan off the map. Like, that's definitely a viable first pick.
I mean, we've seen a lot of value added in Nubarak earlier tonight for 4 guys and legends who have to have they have to have a sense of like a shaky measure of confidence, because it's like, all right, we've played some standard comps, and we did that kind of oddball, interesting composition on Warhead Junction just now, and we pulled the game out, but our backs to the wall a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how cheeky and froggy they're going to be feeling going forward, because I feel like they kind of squeaked by with that comp last game more than just like decisively won it.
Completely agree.
And I mean, stuff you can get away with on Warhead Junction, you're not necessarily going to be able to get away with on other maps. So.
And Miasma showed their understanding of their win conditions on their comp. Like, before the game even started, I said that we were going to see that 3-man bottom, and they needed to force structures, and we saw it immediately. So like, they know how to play. So Miasma first picked the Greymane. The response from 4 guys, the Tychus Ragnaros. So nothing different there. That's actually the same comp that they went with last time, right? Yep.
I again wonder, Kyle. You ban a Nubarak, and you take Tychus early on. It's Infernal Shrines.
I don't know if they'll do it. I actually don't think they'll do it. I don't.
You won game 1 with a weird comp.
True.
So even if you somehow lose this game, you still have the comfort of a game 3. I'm telling you, man. When I saw Cho'Gall get picked in game 3 to eliminate UTA in HCC Open Division, I was like, what are they thinking?
Yeah, that was actually really sweet.
Are you insane? And
I mean, if anything, Miasma can go it here. Like, they have the first pick Greymane. They could do it, but like the Tychus Ragnaros, guarantee we see that Tyrael coming out in 3-4. They love it. Uther Muradin, this could be the Cho'Gall as well, but Uther with Cho'Gall not as strong. Wait, what is this?
Right,
Muradin Uther on Infernal Shrines, not the strongest.
I mean, you're out in the fringe when you take Muradin Uther in the 2-3, because they're standard choices, they're strong choices, but they're not things you normally see this early in the draft. And what it says to me is the back end of this draft for Miasma Esports is going to be something you see on like Bill Nye the Science Guy. Like, it's going to be an experiment of some sort, because when you take these standard, arguably vanilla choices early on, you're setting the back end of your draft up for something wild. You're just like, we need to make sure we have these principal elements in place because we need these to make this work.
That is true. And also, Muradin and Uther don't have like the shrine control. Muradin does almost nothing on shrine. I'm actually expecting Tyrael and plus another, Leoric band. Perfect. They played against Leoric last time. I think, but like, do you Cho'Gall into the Tychus? They probably are worried about it because it's definitely showing like Muradin, Uther, they can last a long time on the shrines, which gains value with, okay, Tyrael ban. Please ban the Tyrael. You like have to. They're 100% going to go it. But then is it just the Johanna pickup?
I will add $5 to the donation pool if they don't take Cho'Gall. All right, I'll do it. I'll do it. I didn't finish this.
Yeah,
they already proved me wrong. But I just knew 4 guys in Legend were going to go. You ban Anubarak and Leoric, and you take Tychus early in the draft. It just screams Cho'Gall. So I'm just surprised. But I will add 5.
That is true. I mean, technically, you could still see Cho'Gall. I think it would be the worst possible thing on planet Earth. But
that would be full dumpster for.
Here we go.
Miasma. And if they take it, I'll feel a little awkward. But I stand by the opinion. So
I wonder if
5.
Right on. I wonder if 4 guys in a Legend are going to go double support with the Tyrande. I think she can function as a solo support, but I definitely think she gains value in double support comps. Like the Diablo Tyrande is going to be really scary, but it's interesting how they went Tyrande with Diablo into the Uther.
Right.
Like as soon as Guardian of Ancient Kings comes out, that combo is going to be almost useless. Plus, like the stun heroic for Ragnaros, like that is a lot of CC that Uther's looking for.
They feel they're just going to be able to brute force through that talent choice at level 7. And they're going to have to do exactly that if they want to have success in these team fights. Because when you're banking your entire engage off of a stun against an Uther, you got to have that exclamation point there. Because whoever you go on, more than often than not, is going to have 75 arm.
Okay, this is like the all-in comp. We've got
Orbeez?
Kerrigan and Lunara. So... okay, Miasma are saying, like, okay, we see your Ragnaros, we see, okay, so does the double support, makes sense, the Malfurion and Tyrande, but that's just like, okay, so we have 2 things here. We have, like, stun from Tyrande, we have stun combo from Diablo, we have stun heroic from Ragnaros, we have the root from Malfurion, and all of those just play into Guardian of Ancient Kings for Uther. However, 4 guys in a Legend have the stronger early game. As soon as 7 hits, this is going to be a completely different game, Lauren. But if 7 hits and Miasma manage to take that Punisher, like Kerrigan plus Muradin are going to be looking at diving so far onto 4 guys in a Legend and try to snowball this game and look to close it out as early as possible. So it's odd. Like there's the early game strength for 4 guys in a Legend, but as soon as that level 7 hits, I promise this game is going to get wild.
There's going to be a lot of interesting dynamics, and I'm excited to see how this game plays out. I would take a moment. I'm looking back in the chat. And there was someone by the name of, let me scroll up and find this. Jungle Knight, I believe it was.
Jungle Knight?
He said, love amateur hots. Why didn't I find this channel before? Heroes Hype has been around since the beginning, my friend. They've been here since Alpha, so I'm more than glad to have you here. We all are. And you see stuff like this all the time, man. The amateur scene is alive and well in Heroes, so... welcome to the party, my friend. But this is game 2. Miasma Esports looking to force out of game 3. On the left, you'll see Zero Max playing Uther. Necromongers is on Lunara. Vestige is playing Muradin. D Steve's is on Greymane. And Lex Uther rounded out on Kerrigan.
And on the right in red is 4 guys in a Legend. We got LZ Gamer on that Ragnaros. Legend playing Tyrande. Jin playing Diablo. Elheim on Malfurion. And Taliant finishing it up with Tychus.
All 5 members of 4 guys in a Legend rallying forward towards the mid lane, as are the members of Miasma Esports.
Vestige finds smashed by the owl.
Right. Someone always wins that beginning game owl, and Vestige is like, all right, I guess it had to be me. Shadow Charge goes in, stun follow up. The huge Kerrigan combo raises the brow of 4 guys in a Legend. Jin wants to get the heck out of Dodge. The Kerrigan value makes itself apparent already.
So we do see Devil's Due available for Diablo, so he's going to heal up, quite easily. But the tap already coming out for Legend on Tyrande. So, a little bit of that early game pressure weaseled out. And, okay, so Diablo and Tyrande looking to rotate top side. Looking at the Greymane.
So what we saw there in that mid lane fight is something that I didn't even really consider. The Kerrigan factor of all this.
So, scary.
We were talking about, 4 guys in Legend have to get value before level 7 because once Uther gets that talent that gives 75 armor, it's going to be real tough. They go in hard, and they find 3 of their members getting stunned and almost taken down off the back of that Kerrigan combination. It's like, oh, do we even be super aggressive here? Because that hurt.
I mean, Miasma, they stepped up and they're like, we're not giving you guys your win conditions. We're going to initiate onto you. Like, what are you going to do about it? Jin on Diablo got chunked out super hard. And now Miasma are looking at taking out some structures. They want that level 7. They're super, super thirsty for it. So
we'll see. I mean, as long as Lex Luthor hangs in the back, waits for Jin to shadow charge in and for that lunar flare to drop down, it's almost a free, at least 2-person stun from Kerrigan. And the double support's going to have to be there, or else it's going to be a wild progression of events. In spite of the early siege damage that Miasma Esports put on, they find themselves just behind an experienced level 4 will be the first 4 guys of the Legend. I'm really curious to see how this one plays.
D-Steve's on Greymane, just pushing out that top lane, grabbing the level 4 as well. So we are going to see a team fight. I'm actually really stoked to see how this plays out too. It's basically a mechanical battle right now. So there's the early Molten Core as well from LZ Gamer playing the Ragnaros. Like we saw last game, 4 guys in a Legend are actually sustaining, Miasma are sustaining way better than the last opponents against 4 guys in a Legend. So we're going to see this team fight unfolding as soon as Molten Core drops.
25 defenders already picked up 4 guys in Legends, so the principal elements may already play themselves out before too long. Shadow Charge goes in, Kerrigan finds himself the target, sits the fancy footwork, jumps out of the way, turns around for the combo on Diablo's face. The root goes in on Vestige, and it's gonna be enough for the 1-for-1 trade. 31 defenders in, rising 4 guys in Legends. Zero Max, the next target, has armor for himself, trying to get out of there. LZ Gamer slaps him down with the baseball bat. Welcome to Yankee Stadium, Arcane Punisher.
I'm pretty sure LZ Gamer got a 3-person full channel on his W, did an insane amount of damage there, and basically single-handedly won that fight. He has 8,000 hero damage dealt at 3 minutes into the game as a Ragnaros looking to stack up his Q. He dealt so much damage there, and they didn't even satisfy their win criteria by getting the combination of Diablo plus Tyrande with a follow-up route onto a single target. So the fact that 4 guys in the Legend won that without satisfying their win condition was insane. Like, that was really, really good.
It was well played all around. Lex Luthor's ability to jump up and avoid, after the Shadow Charge goes in, you see Lex Luthor jump up and then turn around for the Kerrigan combo on the Diablo, get that takedown was rather impressive. It was just unfortunate for Murden. He tried to dwarf toss out of there and got rooted by Malfearon's root. A very interesting interaction since he lost Unstoppable on dwarf toss.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, the Ragnaros damage has to be a factor to consider if you're on the side of Miasma Esports.
That's very true. Murden sitting in this middle bush here, just trying to deny the rotations from 4 guys in a Legend. He wants to secure his camp on the left side of the map. They do manage to both pick them up, and Lunar does a lot of damage to those camps, and both of these teams just looking at level 7 obviously picked up for 4 guys in a Legend right now, and like I said, this is when Miasma's comp comes online. As soon as they hit that, they get that Guardian, they're going to be able to deter a lot of the damage. The stun actually goes out onto Zero Max, the root follows up, but Uther is able to walk away safely.
Zero Max might be feeling some PTSD of sorts, because last time he was on Rhaegar, and it just felt like the whole point of a team fight was just take Rhaegar out of the equation. So he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go Uther this time, so I can give myself some armor, and if you do blow me up, at least I can still try to heal for a few seconds afterwards. That's just like a personal response. He's just like, look, man, I'm not playing Rhaegar against these guys again.
I love the Celestial Attunement pickup for Tyrande as well. So they have they do have 2 cleanses. Obviously, cleanse for Malfurion, and then the cleanse on Q for Tyrande as well. There's the stun from Uther, there's the stun from Murden, stun from Kerrigan. So a lot of that burst potential from Miasma is getting weeded out here by the talent picks up of 4 guys in a Legend.
It's a nice talent choice. Tyrande was the subject of a recent rework who brings a lot of different dynamics to a team fight. Stormbolt and Uther Stun, along with Kerrigan's combination, will be huge elements that Tyrande can do a lot from the gate. Jin will probably appreciate all that. Molten Core goes in. Defender count should be matched up here pretty shortly because of that. Taliant rotates in on the flank. Lex Luthor looking for the right opportunity to jump in there. Lunar will rotate down. No damage. Kerrigan does not throw in the combo. Vestige on the flank, waiting to go.
Jin actually does manage to land the stun, and the follow-up from Tyrande does miss. A lot of damage going out onto Diablo, but they're just able to walk away. The cleanse goes out onto the Kerrigan combination as well, and this is just like a completely even skirmish over this bottom shrine.
No one's committing too heavy one way or the other, but the defender count is starting to go the way of 4 guys and a legend. A lot of damage goes in on the front line. Uther turns into Casper, the friendly ghost. Diablo again finds himself waiting to respawn. Vestas dives in deep, gets his armor lowered, gets rocked for his trouble. 2 for 1 in favor of 4 guys. And they have the Punisher.
Oh, no.
Lex Uther?
I think he wasn't, like, he didn't think he could get away, and then the Punisher was just going to jump, so he just tried to do as much damage onto a single target as possible. That was really unfortunate for Miasma. A 3 for nothing. Or sorry, did Diablo die there, or did he just back?
Yeah,
so
he,
that was
he was forcibly backed, actually.
There you go. I was watching something else at the time, but yeah, so the 3 for 1 trade, so really, really good for 4 guys and a legend, and now the heroics are coming through, and we see the lightning breath again. How do you feel about it?
I'm not sure how I feel about it. Yeah.
Me either.
I mean, they have enough lockdown and engage between Diablo, Tyrande, and Malfurion, so I get that. But I've never really seen a moment where I see Jin just standing there, posturing up, throwing that down. Throws the Sulfura Smash. LZ Gamer commits heavily to his escape. Doesn't pay off for him.
So that was the pick that Miasma were looking for. Was that a B step or just a back from Diablo? So level 10's available now for Miasma. You know, and the 13s are basically the next opportunity for 4 guys and a legend to start forcing some things on the map. So we are going to see Miasma looking to invade. They want to take away these neutral camps. Or sorry, that's not a neutral camp, it's an enemy camp. But they might even look to rotate bottom and take the neutral camp and then push the bottom side of the map. But they need to force something with this little bit of a window of opportunity that they have.
I agree. Kyla, what we've seen here thus far has been a seesaw battle where it's gone one way or the other. Right now, though, I do feel like it's advantage 4 guys in Legend. They definitely got the upper hand in that last Punisher phase. They got the bottom fort, chip damage on the middle and top forts as well. Meanwhile, their forts are alive and well. Jin catches the Storm Bolt. Curse Bullet goes in. Shadow Charge trying to get him back behind the line of scrimmage. Not going to be enough. The double giggle from Necromongers. Never trust a big button to smile. That girl is poison.
The double giggle, yeah, there's the follow-up, and actually Legend manages to get himself caught out as well. The Greymane damage coming up huge, and then the Kerrigan combination on to Ragnaros secures a 3rd kill. So I was saying that Miasma needed to look to force something on the map, and I think that is exactly what we just saw there.
They're just roaming around, man. They're looking for trouble, and they're finding it on the faces of 4 guys and a legend. They're like, all right, you got that Punisher phase. Lex Luthor's like, I remember you caught me on that mid lane. I'm back now. I'm looking to do work.
Absolutely. Miasma, like, minor critique, I think they should have sent somebody bottom off of those 3 picks, pushed out 2 or 3 waves. Actually, 2 were available. They would have hit 13, I think, faster and sent 1 person top as well. But now 13's closing in for 4 guys and a legend. So now, actually, Miasma's put in a little bit of an awkward spot.
Yeah, their bloodthirsty heavy rotations have led them all up to this top lane, but they didn't look at the top part of the screen because level 13's not far up at all for the members of 4 guys and Legend. They can find themselves in a pretty awkward disadvantage. They're trying to make something happen now sooner rather than later, though. The Twilight Dream goes in on Malfurion. The Lightning Breath is going to drop. Taliant turns into Optimus Prime, steps forward, tries to get some damage in on the Odin. Encourages a retreat from the members of Miasma Esports, who now realize, oh, we're down to talent tier. We probably should have switched.
I mean, there's 2 heroics, and they're big heroics. There's Twilight Dream and Lightning Breath now not available for 4 guys and a legend, and everything is going to be available now for Miasma. So, do they look for this team fight? They down a talent. The charge goes out onto Murden. The flip and follow up with the Divine Storm. So much damage coming out from the Starfall as well. D-Steves is looking at this backline of this fight, and he manages to trade 1 for 1 with the Tyrande there. But this fight is 100% going for 4 guys and a legend. That's a complete ace.
It felt like Miasma Esports looked around and were like, guys, let's just go in.
Like,
let's just see what happens.
I mean, right? Like, we just like flirted with the idea of what were they going to do, and they made that was just crazy.
Carla, there was an attempt, and Miasma Esports find themselves for free riding back to base as all 5 heroes are taken down. 39 defenders, maximizing the macro, are the members of 4 guys and a legend. The bloodthirsty attitude gets doused by a tier disadvantage the hard way. I don't think we'll see Miasma try to do that one again.
We have to comment on the fact that they also they won that team fight down to heroics, and they're major heroics.
I mean, there was just so much damage on that Murden. The cleanse goes in. Elham's been doing a really good job timing these out. Lunara jumps in deep and gets racked for their trouble. The double giggle gets immediately silenced. This will be a snowball situation. If another hero gets taken down, Talon's trying to make sure that happens. The gabble slams on Uther's face, and even as a ghost, he's trying to run for his life.
You want to know why I love this game so much?
Why do you love this new
Literally
game?
one decision to not send your teammates to 3-soak and instead look for more greed in the mid lane from Miasma has almost lost them this game. Like, the follow-up decision obviously is what is the result here in them like losing so massively, but instead of getting 13-13 and then contesting that top shrine, they tried to get more off of the mid lane, which gained them almost no experience when they could have 3-soaked, hit that level 13 at the same time, and then had the even talent fight for the first time since the last time where they won a team fight. Like, and it's crazy how them just deciding to not soak those lanes is what resulted here. Well, obviously, like I said, it was the decision after the fact, but that's why I love this game, just because tiny things like that can like completely ruin a game.
This is what happens when one team looks like they're playing checkers while the opponent plays chess.
Yep.
I mean, it's a two-part thing. If you make a decision that can be easily punished, it's up to the enemy team to punish it. And it seems like 4 guys in the Legend know how to do exactly that. You go into that team fight 12-13, you lose your entire team, and you look up, suddenly you're down a keep, another tier advantage, the waves are pushed against you. And it's all because you were like, hey guys, we're almost 13, this should be fine, right?
Yeah,
right?
Lauren, we're seeing it again though. Like, do we see 3-soak right now?
Nope.
That is literally the only thing that Miasma can do to try to get back into this game. They need to have Murden positioned in a spot where he can actually deny rotations from 4 guys in a Legend, put one person top lane. I'm glad we have this now with Kerrigan in the top lane soaking out. Like, we need one person just waiting for the waves to crash in mid, and then just wait for bottom to push out as well. Like, they have to get that 3-soak. They have to hit level 16-18 and try to force a fight then. So I'm glad we are seeing the soak now coming out, but we actually just saw for a moment there Miasma posturing for another team fight down a talent. So that will secure them a very quick loss if they look for a team fight 15-16.
I mean, the other side of that though, Kala, is like, I get their aversion to the 3-soak. You're going up against Diablo Tyrann.
I know, it's scary.
Yeah,
that's why you need the Murden to deny it.
Right.
He has to position up so that the Tyrande and Diablo can't get rotations onto your squishy targets. But Murden has to play safe as well, because we saw him get blown up really easily earlier on too. So
it feels like Friday the 13th if you're on the side of Miasma Esports, because you go out there alone at all, you're just like,
oh no.
And it's just like, oh, wait, but this could be a bit of deja vu. Level 16 is not yet here for Miasma Esports, and they again posture around. They're going back to the well, Kyle. It looks like they're trying to jump back in, and we'll see how this one plays. The grenade goes in, trying to spot someone in the bush. Nobody's there. We got Molten Core dropped down. Level 16, not too far up yet still. Vest is stepping out forward. Kerrigan jumps in, gets the Divine Shield, trying to get value afterwards. Drops the Maelstrom. They're committing on the Tychus. He's able to back away. Lightning Breath is going to go on the Vestige. You see the Starfall go down. The Gabble slams on the back of Greymaine's face. And again, this down tier Gambit does not pay off.
See, I actually think that Miasma just had to give up that as well and just 3-soak, get 16-18 against a Punisher. I think that is the only fight that is even remotely close to an advantage for you, right? Fight the 16-18 into a Punisher. Like, just do it. That's the only way of surviving. Like, sure, one of your targets gets jumped on by the Punisher, just Guardian of the Ancient Kings, heal him up. He's got 75 armor, he's good to go. You know, like, that was the only fight that they could have really forced Miasma there. But and now they're down 16-18, and they just lost a whole bunch of experience because of it.
Little decisions being capitalized on by 4 guys in the Legend. It's catapulting them thus far, this forward. Lunara gets taken down before the middle keep even becomes a problem. Taliant just whistles innocently, rotates up towards top lane. The Punisher goes in. The Shadow Charge actually made him avoid the Lunar Flare. The Silence goes in afterwards. Taliant low on health. Lightning Breath drops down. The stun goes in. John Cena looking for his next target. Vestige finally gets taken down after the Dwarf Toss. Jin jumps in, gets the overpower domination. Shadow Charge is back. Uther is again a ghost. We see the Ice Block goes in, and that should be game.
Holy, D-Steve's also on the right-hand side of that fight. Diablo was playing like an absolute monster. Again, no pun intended. In this game, like the shadow charges onto his targets were actually fantastic all game. The Tyrande follow-ups weren't as perfect as they could have been, but like it didn't really matter. Like he was just pinning people into walls, like left, right, and center, getting the team fights that Four Guys and a Legend needed in order to win that game. Only thing I'm not too sure about the lightning breath, but like yeah, fantastic play from Diablo, and honestly, all across the board for Four Guys and a Legend.
Now, Kyle, I'm gonna preface my statement with some objective truths. Now, you know, as casters, we have the luxury of seeing the entire map from a heightened perspective, and in that, it's easy to see where, you know, the best case scenarios tend to be, right? And I would also say that the members of Miasma Esports are practiced, skilled players who have greater technical ability than me. They're better players than I am, and yet I would impart the knowledge. When you're down a talent tier, you might want to just give up the objective.
Yep.
I mean, we saw 2 instances where they go in, they're a hair's breadth away from 13, and they're just like, hey, I know what we could do, guys. We could just jump in and see what happens. And they get smoked. And it's like, all right, when that happens, it's like, okay, lesson learned, right? Like, fool me once, you know, shame on you. And then we see it again, 15.
It happened multiple times. Yep.
And it's like, you know, you look off to the side for a moment and you have that flashback to that 12 to 13 fight, and then like the bubble pops out of the corner and you're just like, all right, guys, let's do it again. Let's see what happens.
So can I tell you what I actually think the problem was then? Because we can't make the assumption that Miasma are not smart players, because they are, right? Like, you know, they've been around the scene forever. Like they're good players individually. So we have to rule that one out. You want to know what I think is the reason why they looked for fights when they shouldn't have instead of soaking?
What's that, Kyler?
Kerrigan.
Oh.
I think that Kerrigan has such a linear win condition that it infects players' shot calling abilities. They're like, oh wait, we have to split soak and hit 16 to 16 or 13 to 13 and then 16 to 16. You know, but then you have the Kerrigan on your team. You're like, no, I have to smork them with my Kerrigan. Like that is the only possible win condition I have with Kerrigan, and I've seen that happen so many times before, where it, like I said, it's like the Kerrigan condition, where it like I said, infects the shot caller's brain, where like the only thing they can think of is just looking for team fights, no matter where they occur.
Migo face?
Yes, it's the smork syndrome. Like I promise you.
And as it so turned out, their own faces were going on. I mean, I agree with that assessment. I think there's definitely, we got Kerrigan. You know, that there were some echoes of her ability to get value. That level 1 fight where it was like, ooh, Shadow Charge goes, ooh, 3-person Kerrigan combo. It's flashy. It's exciting.
Like, that was dirty. That was good.
But when you're down those talent tiers, I don't know. I just don't know. Miasma Esports, their run this season ends here. Good couple of games, guys. Well played. Four Guys and Legend will advance further towards the finals. We are going to jump over to the other side of the bracket now. It's going to be Chicken Chips versus the new guys. I think we're